When you're in a relationship, you might ask yourself a question that makes you wonder if the woman next to you is really meant to be your partner for life. Real, long-lasting relationships require understanding, respect, and trust. It's not always easy to tell if that woman TR is really the loyal friend you're looking for. Today, let's look at 10 qualities of a woman that, when seen from a Stoic point of view, will help you decide if the person next to you is really the one who will hold your hand through life's ups and downs until the end. If the person next to you has these qualities, then congrats and never let her go. Don't forget to support us by clicking the like button. Please subscribe to the channel and leave a comment if you want to share your story and help make the conversation more interesting and lively. Now let's start. First, she challenges my intellect. It's a simple truth that many of us are first drawn to someone by what we see on the outside. There's no shame in admitting this. It's hard to notice someone's bright personality or wit from across a crowded room. And yes, a lot of first connections happen that way. Let's take a moment to think about what keeps a relationship going strong after the initial spark. Let's say you meet someone who is absolutely stunning and your physical attraction is strong. You start spending more time with them, and at first it's great. You go for walks, watch movies, and maybe even share some great meals. But after a while, you realize that your conversations are pretty surface level. You talk about the weather and your plans for the weekend, but you don't really get into anything deeper. It starts to feel like something's missing. Now imagine you meet someone who doesn't catch your eye like a lightning bolt, but the more you talk to them, the more you find yourself drawn to them. They push you, make you think, and share perspectives that open your eyes to new ideas. Your conversations are rich and full of depth, touching on topics that really matter to you both. You start to realize that this connection feels a lot more meaningful in Stoicism. There's a recognition that while physical attraction can be a part of human relationships, it's the intellectual and emotional connection that truly forms the backbone of a lasting partnership. It's about finding someone who can challenge you, help you grow, and share in the deep, meaningful conversations that add richness to life. It's in these connections that we find the potential for a relationship that's not just about filling time together, but about truly enhancing each other's lives. So if you have found a woman who captivates your mind and spirit, someone who challenges you intellectually and engages in meaningful discussions with you, cherish that connection in the grand tapestry of life. These are the relationships that stand the test of time, growing richer and more fulfilling with each passing year. Remember, the most beautiful aspects of a person are often those that take time and effort to discover. Number 2, she compromises. Let's say you and your partner are floating along on the sea of love. It's easy to stay committed and happy when the skies are clear and the water is calm, but we all know that life isn't always easy. Storms. When waves crash and you find yourself arguing or facing problems together, it's normal and a part of life with someone else. The key to getting through these rough waters is to stay together. Deal with it. Focusing on what we can control, our actions and our willingness to meet halfway, teaches us the value of accepting things we can't change. Remember that a relationship is like a team working together to build a life, not two opposing parties. Imagine that you and your partner disagree on something important. It could be as simple as picking out a movie to watch, or as complicated as deciding what to do about your relationship, if they should move to a new place for a job. At these crossroads, agreement is the key to a happy and healthy relationship. Finding that middle ground where both of you can stand is a sign of how strong and healthy your relationship is. Compromise isn't about giving up. It's about working together to find a way forward that meets the wants and goals of both partners. Leaders in science and relationships. It's more likely that people who are willing to step up, communicate openly, and make necessary changes will have long-lasting and fulfilling relationships. If you're lucky enough to have someone who's willing to ride out the rough patches with you, who's willing to compromise and find that middle ground, then cherish them. In a world that often celebrates the individual, having a partner who understands the value of we over me is a rare and beautiful thing. Remember that the goal isn't to avoid storms, but to learn how to sail your ship together through calm and rough waters. That's what makes a strong, long-lasting relationship, work. So if she's willing to give in, see her not only as a keeper but also as a true partner in the voyage of life. Number 3. She is consistent. This means that the person you woke up next to this morning is the same person you met and fell in love with at first. They haven't changed a lot. Consistency means that there are no sudden changes that leave you wondering who you'll be dealing with on any given day. To get a better idea of what volatility means, think about someone whose moods and actions are as unpredictable as spring weather. One day they're sunshine and gentle breezes, and the next they're a storm. It can be hard to navigate a relationship with such volatility, can't it? It's like walking on eggshells all the time because you don't know which version of them you'll run into. Being stoic teaches us the value of fairness, and being consistent in a relationship shows this trait. Now think of some stoic people from history: Mark Antony, Seneca, Epicus. They were consistent in what they said and did, and they pushed for a life of virtue, stability, and peace of mind. These are the traits that, when reflected in a relationship, can lead to a deep and meaningful connection. You want to avoid the drain of emotional unpredictability, but you also want to build a relationship where trust, respect, and understanding are constants, not variables. If you're lucky enough to be with a partner who embodies this stoic ideal of consistency, know that this isn't about being boring or predictable in a way that stifles growth or excitement. It's about being reliable and having a solid foundation upon which you can both grow individually and together. It's about knowing that no matter what life throws at you, the person by your side will stay steadfast, a constant in a world of change. Let's remember that the first thrills and pleasures of romance are short-lived, but the quiet power of consistency is what makes relationships last. If your partner is reliable, if they're the peace in your storms, and the sure thing when you're doubtful, then you've found something truly special. Don't take it for granted in the spirit of Stoicism. Fourth, she doesn't hold grudges, which is something you should value and encourage because it leads to a happy and harmonious relationship. Forgiveness is the foundation of the healthiest relationships. Why is this? Because at our core, none of us is perfect. We all make mistakes, and sometimes we hurt the people closest to us without meaning to. This is when the magic of forgiveness becomes clear. When a friend did you wrong, like forgetting an important event, or saying something hurtful, think about how it felt when they asked for forgiveness. Since you were truly sorry when you decided to forgive, didn't the weight lift off your shoulders? Didn't letting go of understanding and moving on make your relationship stronger? Stoicism teaches us that our feelings change over time, and that it's important to control what we can and accept what we can't. If your partner makes a mistake that hurts you, remember that you have the power to forgive them. This doesn't mean forgetting or condoning the mistake, but rather understanding it, learning from it, and choosing to let go of the burden of resentment. Stoics believe that this is how we grow, both individually and together. So if you know someone who doesn't hold on to past wrongs and sees forgiveness as a virtue, please share this article. In a world that often sees holding on to hurt as a sign of strength, choosing to forgive is the truest form of courage and wisdom. It's a sign of how strong your relationship is and a principle that can help you through the inevitable ups and downs of life. Stoicism and forgiveness both teach us about the strength of being resilient, the beauty of being weak, and the value of going forward together. Cherish the people who support these virtues because they will be with you through the best and worst of times. Setting the path clear with understanding and acceptance. Number 5. She shares your values. When it comes to relationships, especially romantic ones, shared values are very important. Imagine being deeply attracted to someone who makes you laugh, shares your interests, and every moment with them is like a fairy tale. But as time goes on, you find that your core values don't match up at all. Maybe you put a lot of value on being responsible with money and planning for the future, while they value living in the present, which often leads to spending money without thinking about it. Or maybe you believe strongly in personal growth and improvement, while they are happy with the way things are, not interested in going beyond where they are now. Horizon Stoicism teaches us that, while it's great to have mutual interests and be attracted to each other, These things are temporary and beautiful, just like the waves on the ocean. What really matters in a relationship is how well your core values are aligned. These are the rules that you won't change. If you want to get to your destination together, you both need to be able to navigate by the same stars. Why is this alignment so important? Because life is unpredictable and there will be problems, disagreements, and trials. But if you and your partner share the same fundamental values, you'll have a strong anchor during life's storms and be able to work things out together. It's not about agreeing on everything, but about having a solid agreement on what's important to both of you. If you find someone who brings you joy and shares your values, cherish that connection. It's rare and valuable. Remember that it's not the number of shared hobbies or the intensity of the initial attraction that will keep a relationship going for decades, but the deep-seated alignment in how you see and value the world and each other. To wrap up, let's think about our values and how they shape our relationships. By understanding and aligning our core principles, we celebrate the Stoic way of living virtue and build relationships that are strong, meaningful, and deeply satisfying. Let's use our beliefs as our compass to find real connections and make the most of life's journey. Lasting happiness number 6. She supports your goals and works toward her own. As we go through life, we often look for a partner whose company not only makes us feel good but also pushes us to grow and reach new heights. This idea comes from the Stoic philosophy, which teaches us the value of being self-sufficient, resilient, and dedicated to virtue. Imagine having someone in your life who lives by these values and stands strong next to you, not behind you. This is what a partnership is all about. Two people inspiring each other to reach their own and each other's goals. In this way, a strong partner doesn't depend on you for their happiness or sense of self-worth. They don't need your constant approval to feel good about themselves because they find value in their own accomplishments and character. In modern terms, imagine a partner who encourages you to follow your passions, like taking that painting class you've always been interested in, or starting a fitness journey. They do this by showing you what's possible through their actions, like training for a marathon not to impress you but because they know it will help them. Value. Their dedication and drive to be the best version of themselves, to take on tasks and grow without losing sight of who they are, will inspire you to do the same. This kind of partnership, where both people work toward their own goals while supporting each other's, is rare and valuable. If you're lucky enough to have someone in your life who supports your personal growth while working toward their own, it's important to respect and nurture that relationship. Remember that a partner who is strong and independent and doesn't depend on you for their self-esteem or happiness, but chooses to share their life with you, is someone you should hold on to. In the spirit of Stoicism, this kind of relationship not only stands the test of time, but also leads both people to a more virtuous and fulfilled life. Number 7. She is kind and empathetic. Picture yourself going through hard times, which is something we all do. Whether it's a bad day, losing your job, or a personal failure, Stoicism teaches us how important it is to have someone who believes in us even when we start to doubt ourselves. Think about the last time someone stood by you and didn't judge you when you needed to lean on them. That's the kind of help that makes the darkest roads bright. Think about Marcus Aurelius, who was both a Roman emperor and a Stoic philosopher. Despite his power and status, he often wrote about how important understanding and compassion were in his personal meditations. He knew that life was full of problems and that having a partner who understood and could share the load without giving up was very important. Now think about the people in your life who show these traits. It could be your girlfriend, who is always there to listen and cheer you on without judging you. She is the person who cares about you even when you don't say a word. She is there for you when things get tough, and her kindness and understanding make even the worst days better. Stoicism tells us to value and work on these connections. Being kind, supportive, and encouraging to our partners isn't just nice to have. It's necessary for building a happy, successful relationship. In a world that can sometimes seem cold and uncaring, finding someone who embodies kindness and empathy is like finding treasure. So here's a shout out to your partner, or anyone else in your life, who shows you this kind of unwavering kindness and empathy. Realize how valuable what you have is. Don't take it for granted. Celebrate it, care for it, and most importantly, give love back. As the Stoic said, the best way to receive love is to give it freely and without expectation. In conclusion, the journey of life with all its uncertainties and challenges is made infinitely richer and more bearable with the right companion by our side. Let's not forget to appreciate and hold on to the kindness, generosity, and understanding they bring into our lives. Remember that in the grand tapestry of existence, these are the threads that hold the most value. Number 8. She accepts your flaws. Imagine being in a relationship where she constantly criticizes you for things like how you dress, jokes you tell, or even how you chew your food. Sounds exhausting, doesn't it? When one partner constantly makes the other feel bad, unloved, or not good enough, the relationship misses out on an important part of what makes human bonds nurturing and growth-oriented. This is where the Stoic view shines. Yes, your partner should push you to grow and be the best version of yourself, but they should do this in a way that lifts you up instead of bringing you down. Stoicism shows us how important it is to focus on our own actions and reactions. In a world that often seems obsessed with perfection and quick to point out flaws, it's important to accept them and work together to improve without judging or disliking them. If you're in a relationship, having a partner who accepts your flaws, understands your quirks, and still chooses to see the good in you is priceless. It's a sign of a mature, nurturing relationship. This partner doesn't make you feel small or unimportant over the little things, but instead supports you and builds you up, encouraging improvement not through criticism, but through understanding and acceptance. It's rare and beautiful to find someone who accepts you just the way you are. This is similar to the Stoic idea that we should focus on what really matters: our character, our acts, and how we treat each other. It's about accepting what we can't change about other people and working on what we can. If you have someone in your corner who truly understands and embraces all of you, including your flaws, and who inspires you to grow in a healthy and positive way, make sure to keep them close. They embody a principle that is not only Stoic, but fundamentally human: the power of acceptance and love. This is the kind of partner who will walk with you through life's ups and downs and help you become the best version of yourself, not by pointing out all of your flaws, but by understanding them and loving you no matter what. In long-term relationships, especially, the initial spark and romance can sometimes fade. This is a natural process, like how even the most beautiful flower has to go through the seasons. However, we can choose, much like the Stoics, to not let our emotions and moods control the health and happiness of our relationships. In this case, let's talk about when your partner takes the time and effort to nourish the relationship with small acts of love and kindness. A caring note left on the fridge may seem like a small thing, but it shows how much she cares about you and believes in your relationship. Whether it's her listening carefully after a long day or making your favorite meal on a whim, these actions have a big effect because they remind you of how dedicated she is to the relationship and how willing she is to make it happy and last. Yes, people who have these qualities and consistently try to reignite that spark that drew you to them are rare. However, this doesn't put them on a pedestal. It just shows how important it is to respect, understand, and work to keep the bond you've built. If you're lucky enough to know someone who embodies these traits, you should let them know. Following the Stoic advice to reciprocate, make every day a chance to show your appreciation and build a relationship that will last through the test of time. By taking this approach, you're not only keeping the romance alive, you're also honoring the Stoic principles of gratitude, duty, and the pursuit of virtue in all areas of life, including love. This way of thinking not only keeps the relationship going, it strengthens it by making sure that both of you grow together, strengthened by love, respect, and the shared journey through life's inevitable ups and downs. She is truthful and sincere. Imagine being in a relationship where every time your partner says something, a small voice in your head asks, "Is that true?" Imagine how tiring it would be to always be on guard, and not feel safe. Now, let's turn that around. You know where you stand with someone when they tell you the truth, even when it's hard. That kind of friendship is as strong as an oak tree. Think about daily things when you're at the store trying to decide if you should buy that pricey gadget you've been eyeing. An honest partner could help you remember your budget and weigh the pros and cons. Not only encourage you to buy something you might later regret, it means having someone on your side who wants what's best for you, not just what's fun, quick, or, let's say, what you're about to post online. In the heat of the moment, an honest partner would kindly tell you to take a break and think about whether you really want to share that post. They're not being critical or controlling. They're just looking out for you and trying to keep you from getting into trouble. Stoicism wasn't just about enduring tough times. Without complaint, it emphasized the importance of our perceptions and reactions in the context of a relationship. This means valuing a partner who helps you see the bigger picture, not someone who tells you what you want to hear to keep the peace. This kind of honesty helps you grow facing life with a clearer, more grounded perspective. This approach to relationships is deeply rooted in Stoicism. It's about facing reality with courage and integrity. It's not about never messing up, but about having a partner who helps you confront the truth. Even when it's tough, this creates a partnership that's not just durable, but deepens with time, built on mutual respect and understanding. In wrapping up our conversation today, it's clear that the idea of a perfect partner can vastly differ from one man to another. Everyone has their own unique unqui checklist, their non-negotiables and their dreams. Yet despite the diversity in these lists, there seems to be a universal node to the qualities we've unpacked together in this video. It's fascinating, isn't it, how at the end of the day, certain virtues and values hold a timeless appeal. Now it's your turn. Do you feel there's a crucial point we've overlooked? Perhaps there's a personal insight you're burning to share the comments section below. Is your open canvas. Don't hesitate to paint your thoughts there. And if our journey today resonated with you, why not spread the word? A single thumbs up from you helps more than you might think. And sharing this video could spark meaningful conversations among your circle. We're here to foster a community, and you play a pivotal role in that. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button to join our growing family by activating the notification. By clicking bell, you can make sure you never miss out on our newest explorations. Also, we've put together a huge library of content waiting to be discovered, so jump in and let's continue to question, learn, and grow together. Thank you for spending your time with us today. We really appreciate your continued support and friendship towards our videos. Let's keep spreading the passion and strength of Stoic philosophy and make the Stoic Legend community stronger and bigger. Also, there are a few suggested videos at the end of the screen that are related to this one. If you're interested, check them out and let us know what you think about them. Until next time, look for more. Never stop asking questions, and most of all, never stop participating.